Obviously, I'm deeply disappointed by the jury's decision. I have every faith that the law and the facts did not sustain that decision and that we will be successful upon appeal. I have never violated my public oath. I have never been anything but a patriot of my country and for my country. I have never, ever been a foreign agent, and the decision rendered by the jury today would put at risk every member of the United States Senate in terms of what they think a foreign agent would be.
Well, that's not what a jury of his peers believe, because Democratic Senator Bob Menendez has been found guilty on all counts in his federal corruption trial, leading to Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer calling for him to immediately resign. Now, prosecutors have successfully argued that the senator tried to use his power to advance Egyptian military interests, interfere in criminal prosecutions, and secure investment from Qatari officials, among other things. Menendez and his wife, Nadine, allegedly received gold bars, hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash, a Mercedes-Benz convertible, and other bribes in exchange for his influence. The FBI seized a total of $486,461, 11 1-ounce gold bars, and 2 1-kilogram gold bars from the Menendez home on June 16th of 2022. That was part of the raid that they conducted to essentially gather evidence for this prosecution. Now, here's how Menendez explained the cash and gold bars after the raid occurred.
30 years, I have withdrawn thousands of dollars in cash from my personal savings account, which I have kept for emergencies and because of the history of my family facing confiscation in Cuba. Now, this may seem old-fashioned, but these were monies drawn from my personal savings account based on the income that I have lawfully derived over those 30 years.
Now, due to his years-long bribery scheme, corruption scheme, he was in fact convicted of 16 counts, including bribery, extortion, wire fraud, obstruction of justice, acting as a foreign agent, among other charges. His sentencing is set for October 29th. And this is not a joke, guys. He is facing a lot of time behind bars. So he faces a maximum of 222 years in prison for those 16 charges. But they could be served consecutively. But look, he's gonna spend time behind bars. Like, this is the one case where I see a person in a position of power who's actually going to suffer real consequences, and he should. I mean, he was acquitted of a completely separate corruption charge back in 2015. And I guess he got real cocky because he decided to keep engaging in bribery schemes, and he finally got caught. Thanks for watching. Our audience has helped build TYT into the media giant it is today. Together, we can accomplish anything. Support our work and join us at tyt.com/team.
All right, my favorite part of the story is, you notice in that tape, he said, because of my family's experiences in Cuba,
right,
we know that, sometimes you have to keep cash around because in case you need to run, if somebody like Castro comes for you. He was born in New York, has never lived in Cuba, and his family left well before Castro took over. They never experienced anything with Castro. He's unbelievable. What a hilarious liar this guy is. And he's like, no, I withdrew from my personal savings account and turned it into gold bullion and stored it in my closet. Yeah, come on, man. You got a lot of you doing that too. Like, oh my God, I got an extra 35 bucks left over in my personal account. Maybe I'll turn it into gold and keep it under my pillow.
You know it's old-fashioned, Cenk, but some of us.
It's old-fashioned, okay. Now, then the other hilarious part was, he's like, if this happens to me, all the politicians do that. Trump does it. So if this happens to me, they could be coming for you next. Really? We're all gonna be called foreign agents? You in the middle of Wisconsin you're gonna be called a foreign agent? Less likely, okay? But then when he's talking about the senators, he's like, well, this could apply to any senator. I'm like, well, that one's closer to true.
That is closer to true and good.
Yeah. So look, you made your bed and then stuffed it with money from Qatar and Egypt. So you got a lie in it now. And I say that not because he's a crook and he's corrupt and the other senators are clean. No, the other senators do it the legal way. They go, hey, Israel, if you want to affect my policy, you get AIPAC to spend $14.5 million against my opponent. or 4 million against my opponent, or you get them to spend 1 or 2 million on my behalf. That way I get to keep my power, I make money in other ways. But the bottom line is you have helped me, and then I am in your debt and in your service. That's how we serve foreign governments. You don't just go to Israel and say, give me gold, right? So, and by the way, if you're saying, oh, Israel's the only one that is controlling all of our politicians. No, there's Egypt controlling our politicians, right? And he was also working with Qatar, apparently. So just understand the full range of what actually happens.
Exactly, and I just want to give you a few more details about what transpired during the trial, because there was some pretty damning testimony that helped to convict Menendez of this bribery scheme. So just to familiarize the audience with some of the main players involved, there was a guy involved by the name of Jose Uribe, who's a New Jersey businessman who essentially bribed Menendez in exchange for legal favors. He ended up striking a plea deal and cooperating with the prosecutors, and he testified in the trial. He basically testified that he specifically bribed Menendez in exchange for his influence to attempt to sway top prosecutors in New Jersey from pursuing criminal charges against his associates. Uribe testified about how he paid for Nadine, that's Bob Menendez's wife, Nadine Menendez's Mercedes. Here's some of his testimony. He said, quote, "I agreed with Nadine Menendez and other people to provide a car for Nadine in order to get the power and influence of Mr. Menendez," Uribe testified, "in order to help me get a better resolution for one of my associates who was being charged in a criminal matter, and to stop and kill investigations that could lead to my daughter and family members." And he also testified that during a 2020 dinner, the senator told him in Spanish, "I saved your ass twice, not once, but twice."
Well, no good deed goes unpunished, or no corrupt deed. Well, actually, a lot of corrupt deeds go unpunished, but this one didn't. So it's a great day for America. I just have one question left for MAGA. So why did the deep state target a Democratic senator?
Yeah, good question.
Especially during the Biden administration. Is it possible that it's not a deep state, that it's actually a Justice Department that tries to find crooks, whether they're Democrats or Republicans?
No, this is lawfare, Jake.
Lawfare, apparently. But you know what? That's what Menendez says, just like all crooks, right? So can you find me an odd case where it actually is lawfare? Yes, you can, right? But is it in these spectacular cases of Donald Trump taking home top secret documents, doing fake electors, Bob Menendez with the gold and the money, cash literally stuffed into the pockets of his suits, right? No, that's not lawfare. That's just law.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.